Hey, how's it going? So we are going to do a video about how we can generate documentation and blog content and all that good stuff using Cursor and a tool called Nextra.sites. So let's start with one of those. Let's go with Nextra.sites. So you can go to this by just going to www.nextra.site. I'm going to make sure the links are in the description. This is super impressive. It's a documentation tool, kind of similar to Mintlify, or I forgot what the other one's called, GitDocs, I think it was, or something like that. But the real beauty of it is it's completely open source and you can run it through Vercel very easily. You can basically go to documentation, get started, and hit this deploy. You will need a Vercel account. You will need a GitHub account. It takes one step and it only takes about a minute, about 60 seconds, and you can get it up and running. I'm going to assume that you're able to do this part. If you have trouble doing this part or you have issues with Git or Vercel, get in touch, we can help. But we're going to jump onto the next step, which is the really interesting step. So we're going to jump into to Cursor, and this is our own documentation system that you're looking at right now. Now, every single file is a .mdx file, so that's just the way that you write things. If you haven't used MDX before, you're essentially using these little hashtags as headings. So heading 1, heading 2, this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph. You get the idea, right? It's not super complicated. You'll get it real fast if you haven't used it before. Now, here's the really interesting bit. So say I'm going to build a brand new blog, or I'm going to go for this blog that I'm writing at the moment, which is called Jumping Ship from WordPress. What I might want to do is I might want to start writing on this. So I'm in the process of writing this thing in a minute, but I'm getting lazy. So I like some of this stuff, and I want to talk about more things related to Sanity. So give me 3 more features from Sanity. Check them out here. And now what we can do is this you can do by pressing Command K here. You can go to sanity.io. You can go look at Sanity features. Okay, so in fact, you know, I'm just going to use the home page because I'm going to be lazy. Press type the URL in. Boom. Okay, so give me 3 more features from Sanity. Hopefully it brings brand new features and doesn't give me the same ones. More powerful features. AI assist, that's amazing. Localization support, yeah, we haven't talked about that yet. Advanced asset management, awesome, right? I've just done that with one AI prompt. So let's take that. That's great. Now that is one part of this. Now the other part of this is doing something called a tone of voice guide, or whatever you want to call it. So this website we can actually use as our tone of voice guide. So if I copy this URL again and I can go create a brand new one, I can say Sanity tone of voice.mdx. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go create a tone of voice guide from and then paste Sanity's link in. And we'll see what it does. This will actually write a tone of voice guide. And again, we're just using the Command K at the minute. We're not going crazy, just nice, simple cursor functionality. And you can see we have things like technical confidence with accessibility, forward thinking and innovative, direct and empowering, data-driven credibility. And you can see things like do's, don'ts. This is really nice. And this is just from one singular prompt inside of Cursor. Okay, let's take that. Now what we can do is we can take the same document again, and what we're going to do is we're going to say, oh, jumping ship from WordPress Sanity edition.mdx. And I'm basically going to throw the same thing in, and I'm going to say rewrite this using tone of voice. And this is I want this one, the blog, the Sanity tone of voice. So we have our own tone of voice, but we're going to use the one that we've just pulled from Sanity. And you can see transform your content strategy, moving from WordPress to Sanity CMS. It sounds a lot more kind of professional rather than what we write. So that's kind of nice. You can see it actually working there. So this is a really cool piece of functionality because in one jump, we've basically rewritten this in a certain way. It works kind of similar to how you would do something like AI translation. You're essentially just taking content and repurposing it, and that's what's really powerful inside of Cursor. And the beauty of this is this completely scales. And now, I know what you might be thinking, this is really cool, but aren't we just going to use this to rip everybody else's websites off? And you'd be right. So what we're going to do, we're going to see their blog, and we're going to see what we can do with this. And this is, again, I'm sorry before I do this, Sanity. I hope nobody does this as soon as I've showed this. But you can see, let's find something interesting. Digital transformation with structured content. So this is a really cool case study. But you can see very quickly how I could write generic case study for enterprise. Okay, so repurpose, and I'm not saying that you should do this before I show this, to be another company called Acme, and rewrite it using our tone of voice. Now I'm going to use our sanity tone of voice again, but you can see very quickly how we can pull in. It doesn't have to be other people's content. I'm only showing you other people's content because it's quite, there you go. You see? You can see I might be unleashing Pandora's box on the marketing folks, but this is really powerful for being able to basically generate content very, very quickly. Obviously you want high quality content, so you don't want to do what I'm just doing here, but I want to show you this as a tool to be able to generate content. But I thought I may as well address the elephant in the room that I know people are going to end up using this for. But if you are going to use this, make sure you put your own tone of voice, your own interest, your own stats, your own images, all that good stuff. Put some effort in. But yeah, this is how you would essentially use Cursor as a documentation tool rather than a coding tool. And again, it does amazing things with prediction. So you can see very quickly, if I throw another one on here, you know, content management. Yeah. Oh, what's another one? API first development. Cool. What's another one? Microservices architecture. Really helpful tool. Hope you get the most out of this. Don't just copy other people's work. Have a great day. Bye-bye.